You know what? Inside of that thing, okay.
What's that?
Let me see that quick. Yeah. See if I got my instructions. Okay, remember, when they read you the instructions, listen what they're reading you. I know that's not the problem. Using the vehicle inspection checklist, which you have, please demonstrate that you know how to conduct a vehicle inspection as of all vehicle safety critical items, as you would normally do for any vehicle you're about to operate. You are to conduct a vehicle inspection as outlined in the CDL driver's manual. You are required to inspect the items on the CDL vehicle checklist. You may use the checklist for your test and may check off items as you have completed them, but no additional markings or writings. As you do your inspection, you must name each item, touch or point to the item or items you are inspecting, and fully explain what you are inspecting each safety critical item for. If you do not do so, you will not get credit. So you got to point to it and tell us what you're checking it for. During the test, you only inspect items down the driver's side of the vehicle. If there are any items that are unique, meaning different to the other side of the vehicle, please inspect those items as well. When inspecting the operation of the lights, inspect all lights on the vehicle. When exiting the vehicle during the test, you must set your parking brake, place the vehicle in neutral. When entering and exiting the vehicle, safely enter and exit by facing the vehicle, maintaining 3 points of contact at all times. Do you have any questions? And then if you have questions, you ask. Okay? Okay, so you will begin your test with the in-vehicle inspection. So I'm going to have to go by, I don't have the sheet. Let me see if, no, I want you to use it. No, I don't have one in me. It's okay. Alrighty. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this key on and roll these windows down so we get some air. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, I don't have enough air pressure right now. I'm going to turn the key on, and when I do that, I'm going to look for my ABS. I see I have an engine light on. I have my def light, and didn't see the ABS is here. Should come on and go off. I got the def light over here also. They both should come on and go off. That's for my
lightings.
My identification lights on the inside of the cab. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, do a safe start, push that clutch in, start the engine. I'm going to build up the air pressure. While it's building up, ooh, slow there. So I'm going to let the engine build up air pressure. While I'm doing that, I'm going to go ahead and check my horns. Both horns are working. Okay. All of my gauges appear to be working. So from there, we're going to go to I'm going to turn this on, put a little bit of heat, check the defrost, it's working good. Now I'm going to flip it over to the vents, top and bottom, for the heater. That's working also. So I'm going to go ahead and check my heater defroster. From there, we're going to go, what's next up the list? Wipers. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and check my wipers. I want to make sure the wiper arms are securely attached. They are not bent or cracked. The blades are attached properly to the arm should have tension up against the windshield. Then I'm going to check the blade. I want to make sure that blade is not weather worn, it's not cracked, it's not torn, not ripped, and not missing. Okay, with that being said, we'll go ahead and turn the wiper on. Here's the wipers that are working. Push it in. There's the water. So I've covered all aspects of the wiper. Okay, so the wiper heater defroster is done. Now I'm going to check the windshield. I'm going to check the windshield. I want to make sure there's no holes, there's no cracks. Windshield should be clean. It's not too bad, but except the outsides where the bugs are hitting it. I should not have anything blocking my view. This is the sun pass, so that's okay. Other than that, I don't have anything here that's blocking the view. The windshield should not be leaking anywhere. Now I'm going to check my monitoring devices. I have two hood mirrors. I want to make sure those hood mirrors are both adjusted so I can see my blind area on the vehicle. I'm going to make sure those mirrors up top on the hood, they are not falling off, they're not cracked, they're not damaged. The mirrors themselves should be clean, not cracked, and nice and secure and tight. Now I have the two mirrors on both sides. I want to make sure those mirrors are securely attached to the doors. All brackets are tight and secure. The mirrors themselves should be tight and secure. The mirror should be clean, should not be cracked, should not have any holes or missing chunks out of the mirrors. So I will check all four of these mirrors, and again, should be adjusted. Everything should be adjusted to my seat position. I just heard the air governor go off, so I'm going to go ahead and do my emergency equipment. Okay, we're going to assume everything's in the side box. So I should have my fire extinguisher in the side box. That fire extinguisher should be securely attached. The fire extinguisher also, the needle should be in the green, indicating a full fire extinguisher. Also on the side box, I'm going to have my 3 red reflective triangles. Again, should be in good condition, and the box should be secured. We're also going to have our 6 spare fuses. I want to make sure they're in the glove box. I should have at least 6 spare fuses. And I'd make sure if I can see any of the circuit breakers, I'm going to make sure that all the circuit breakers are pushed in. Okay, with that being said, I got my identification lights. I already did my ABS and my DF. So now I'm going to check the left blinker, the right blinker, the full-way flashers, turn the headlights on. I should see my high beams. There they are. Okay, high beams are on and they are working. Again, I already did the DEF and the ABS. So with that being said, everything's done. Okay, now I got my service brake. The service brakes, what I'm going to do is I'm going to push both buttons in. I'm going to put the vehicle in gear. I'm going to roll forward 5 miles an hour. I'm going to step on the brake. I want to make sure the wheel doesn't pull left or right, indicating a brake out of adjustment. And we also want to make sure the vehicle stops. I'm going to go ahead and back up. All right, I'm going to leave this red button in, pull the yellow out. Now I'm going to do my parking and trailer test. So the yellow button's out, so I'm going to go ahead and check the tractor emergency brakes, making sure they're holding. Okay, we're good. Now I'm going to check my trailer brake, leave the yellow in, pull the red one out. I'm going to go ahead and check the trailer. Trailer's holding. We're also going to check the connection on the locking jaws around the kingpin connection to make sure that it's locked in when we do this tug. Okay, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and we did our service. We did the yellow button, the red button, that's all done. So now I'm going to go ahead and build up my air pressure until the governor cuts off. Once it cuts out, it should cut out between 120 and 140 psi. Okay, was that our governor? Sounded like it, right?
Yeah, it's not like it.
Okay, so the air governor should, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we should, it popped about 125 on both the secondary and primary. So we're good to go there. I'm going to go ahead and shut this engine off. Now, because if you notice, those gauges fall down to nothing. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the key back on. Alrighty. So we'll go ahead and push that red button in, releasing all brakes. I'm going to find my stopwatch while that's going on. So the air governor did kick off at 125. I'm going to find my stopwatch. We're moving a little bit. Alright, so looks like the gauge is stabilized just at about 108 on this one, 109 on the secondary, 108 on the primary. So I'm going to go ahead and step on my brake. The brakes are being held. I'm going to wait for the gauge to stabilize again. Alright, they look like they stabilized. The secondary's at 100. The primary is about 99 psi. I'm going to set my timer. The timer, we should not lose more than 4 psi in 1 minute. So we're going to go ahead and wait for a minute. So far, so good. We're at 21 seconds, 22 seconds. The secondary just dropped maybe a half a pound. Same with the primary. It's hard to hear, but that engine on over there, I'd listen for any air leaks. Sound like we have something under the hood leaking a little bit, but it's not leaking enough to put the vehicle out of service, I don't think. So we're at 1 minute, and I can see we dropped on the primary about 2.5 pounds, maybe 3, and on the secondary, same thing. So this vehicle is good to go on the leak tests. Now I'm going to go ahead. I got the key on. I'm going to go ahead and fan the brakes down. The low warning light should come on at 55 or slightly above. Low warning light should come on at 55 or slightly above. If it's not in the gauge, it's going to be somewhere on the dashboard. So I'm going to go ahead and fan the brakes down. Okay, I just had my low warning light come on right about, because these are off a little bit. So my primary came on right about 58 and the secondary came on right about 60. So now I'm going to continue fanning the brakes. Both of these buttons should pop out between 20 and 40 psi, 45 psi, I'm sorry. Alright, both buttons popped out already, and they're both between, they're about 35 to 40 psi, they popped out. So we're good to go on the parking and service brake test. Everything the truck passed. So with that being said, everything's done inside my cab. So we're going to exit the vehicle and continue on. I'm not going to do the light. You know to ask them to help you with the lights, right? Yeah. So we'll skip over the lights. Okay, on the front of the vehicle. I'm going to do all the lenses on the front of this vehicle. I see I got did those headlights on or did I leave them on?
They
okay. So I'm going to go ahead and check all the lenses on the front of the vehicle. I want to make sure they're all secure. Everything's secure. I want to make sure they are all proper color. These are all white, but when you illuminate them, the ones on the top, they turn yellow. I want to make sure all the lenses are not cracked. They are securely attached. They are not cracked. They don't have any missing lenses. No moisture in the lenses. I see these headlights. They need to be cleaned there because it's not good for the vision. So I'm going to check all these lenses. They should not be cracked. They should be tight, secure, and they are, again, got a film over them, so which could cause you not to have good visibility. Okay. On the on the front side, I'm going to look underneath. I'm looking for any signs of fluid leaks. I'm also going to check the level. Make sure that it's not leaning left or right. Could be indication that we have a flat front tire. The load is shifted. Springs, airbags, bone, springs cracked, something of that sort. Okay. All right. So what do we got next, Hakeem?
Now we got.
I did the lenses. I did the level, fluid level. No, we didn't do that yet.
You did this one.
I did, no, not this one, but I did the fluid already.
Fluid, yeah.
Okay.
So I do air leaks and fluid levels.
I'm going to go ahead and pull the hood over.
This side is done for.
Alright, sir, I'm going to go ahead right over here to the oil level. I'm going to check the oil level. I want to make sure that I pull that stick out. What's the water?
Alright, I'll see you later.
Okay.
Can you get them after lunch?
Absolutely, no problem. Just same thing, let them practice back. Okay. Pull the dipstick out.
Now, when we have to do it, or
you don't have to.
You can say how
but
to
you got
do
to
it.
tell them.
Okay.
Now, if they ask you to do it, then you need to do it.
Okay.
I'm going to pull the dipstick out. I'm going to wipe it off, stick it back in, pull it out a second time. I'm going to check, make sure it's above the ad, are full, preferably full.
Okay.
From there, we're going to go ahead and check our power steering fluid.
It's above the ad.
Okay, this bottle is translucent, so I can actually see through it. I can see it's way up here. So it says hot. It's way above the full. We got a little bit too much fluid in this one, okay? But it does have at least enough fluid. On this side of the vehicle, I'm going to go ahead and check for any oil, any fluid leaks on this side of the vehicle, oil or water or antifreeze, anything of this sort. I'm also going to listen for any air leaks on this side of the vehicle. So all we got left is the coolant on the other side. Okay, coolant level is hard to see through there. I don't want to open the cap, but I want to make sure that the reservoir is at least between the ad and the full, preferably, of course, full. Okay, with that being said, Now we're going to go to the steering, right?
Yeah. Steering.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and check all of these hoses coming out of the steering box, going into the power steering pump, and into the reservoir. I want to check to make sure these hoses are not weather worn, they're not cracked, there's no abrasions, bulges, or cuts in the hoses. Everywhere is where they're connected. There should be tight and secure and no leaks. Okay? From there, we're going to go to the steering box. I want to check the steering box, make sure it's securely attached to the frame of the truck. All nuts, bolts, washers are tight, secure. I see no traces of rust, indicating a loose bolt. From there, we're going to check for any leaks around the steering box, and it appears to be no leaks on this steering box. We're going to go ahead and check all of the linkage. I want to check my linkage, make sure there's nothing bent, there's none cracked. All the joints appear to be properly greased. The boots around the joints are not ripped or torn. That way they keep the grease inside. I'm going to check the castle nuts and carter pins. I want to make sure they are tight and all carter pins are in place. Okay, with that being said, I just did my linkage.
Tires.
From there, we're going to go, I don't do the tires yet. I like to keep inside here. I'm going to go ahead and do my suspension.
Okay.
I got my front hanger and the rear hanger. I want to check, make sure it's securely attached to the frame of the truck. Again, no rust traces on the bolts, indicating they're loose.